My name is Dr. Natasha Gonzales. I'm a mental health nurse practitioner, and we're with Veteran SA, and this is
Dr. Coronado. I am an adjunct professor and teacher
yes,
and one of the writers for Veteran Essay.
yes, same. Yes, we both write mental health articles every month for Veteran SA magazine.
Yes, and we're celebrating 1 year.
Yes, we are on
Yes.
Thursday. This won't be out, so you missed it if you're watching, but you
Yeah.
should have been there. So this episode is going to be a little bit heavier. Just to give all of you guys a heads up, we will be talking about Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, 9/11 Remembrance, and POW MIA Recognition Day. So
Mhm.
just wanted to let you guys know it is a little bit heavier today and to give a fair warning. So,
Yes.
mhm.
Heavy, powerful, emotional, but it's needed. I think it needs to be talked about just so that we can, honor those and make sure that, we don't ever forget, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. So well, with the military, right, there is an influx of suicide um, amongst veterans and even service members, current service members. So, what are some of the details that you have on that?
Um, well, I mean, that's what we're founded on, right? Is
Right.
the 22, at least 22 veterans a day, you know, die by suicide. And that's over, military, um, veterans, what is it called? Um, Not even survivors of, I'm sorry, I just messed up. I'm
That's
gonna
okay.
cut that out.
Yeah. Cut.
I wanted to say first responders. That's what I couldn't
Okay.
remember that. Okay, yeah. So military veterans and first responders account for at least half of suicides. That are compared to civilians. So the prevalence is very high. So it needs to be talked about. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
We do need to bring awareness to it, and that's what September is. It's just bringing out suicide, prevention awareness.
hmm
Yeah.
So, I guess we can talk about the caveat to that, right? Is what are some of the signs or symptoms of somebody who is suicidal?
Withdrawal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sometimes they're not very visible, as far as what you can see like right away. Some they can do a really good job at hiding it
Mm-hmm.
out in public, but there are signs of just starting to give things away
Sure.
or, starting to initiate conversations of goodbyes,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Um, I think, those are like very telltale signs. What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. A sense of withdrawal, right? Increase in displayed emotions,
Yes.
right? So
Hmm.
anger or fits of rage or, intermittent crying, right?
Irritability.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then there's also the opposite of that. And this, the, it's the scariest part of it is when you see your friend who's been struggling for days, months, years, and all of a sudden they're super happy. They love life, right? That is a telltale sign that they have already made a plan and they've made peace with the fact that they will be leaving.
It's almost a sense of euphoric,
Correct.
right,
Right.
feeling
Correct.
that they are expressing. And that
hmm
is scary
Right.
because it's just from 1 minute to the next.
Right.
Seems like.
It definitely. And so a lot of people mistake that as, oh, look at them. Like they're doing really well when in actuality they're not.
No, that is,
So
yeah.
right. So what are some of the things that we can do, right, as friends or as a society to help mitigate, right, some of these suicides?
Yeah, I think, especially with those that are really close to us. I mean, I often hear, the people that are left behind say, I should have known, I should have seen something.
Right.
Just be more intentional with conversations.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is struggling, um, there's some emotions there, some very raw emotions. Ask how their day is going.
Mm-hmm.
Ask what you can do to help them, survive the next 5 hours, even just
Right.
be there.
Right. Um, but also be very intentional,
Yeah.
right? So try not to say, "Hey, if you need anything, I'll be
Yeah.
there for you," and you have no intention or time to be there for that
Mhm.
person because they might call you at any hour of the day or night, and they will really need you, and it's that also takes a toll on that other person,
It does.
right?
It
It's
is not
very
fair.
hard to be there
Mhm.
for somebody who is in an active suicidal mindset.
It is. It is. And then if you don't answer
Mhm.
or you're not
Mhm.
available, that's just another form of rejection
Correct.
on that individual. So it's heavy and it's hard,
Mhm.
to be the person on the other side to receive that, to accept that, and to live on after that.
Mhm.
Is I can imagine is a very weighted guilt on that person.
Definitely. Well, then that goes into survivor's guilt,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of veterans are dealing with already. So having that struggle of, well, I lost my brother, I lost my sister in arms, right? And so now I shouldn't be here. It should have been me. I don't want to be here. I have nothing to
Right.
live for, right? So then that they spiral into that.
Yeah.
And so even trying to combat that and as a civilian, trying to combat that as a spouse, as a child, right? It's a lot to take on. And
Hmm.
so there definitely are local resources, right? Which we talked about last episode. We
Yes.
actually had them on. So
Yes.
Laurel Ridge is a great resource. But then there are other resources.
There are other resources. The 988 press one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the go to. Endeavors is
Mm-hmm.
another one. It's faith based.
Mm-hmm.
It is local in San Antonio. Vets for Warriors. There are resources out there. I think it's just getting that information out there and getting that information to them.
Right.
Um, Recently, I was having a conversation with an active military member, and he emphasized the importance of establishing relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while active duty, while interacting with your brothers and your sisters, like make an intentional attempt at creating relationships, positive relationships with them,
Right.
and being aware of your own. He mentioned emotional intelligence,
Sure.
and just as leaders, if you are overseeing, a group of, other individuals, you have to have that emotional intelligence. You have to be aware, you notice the signs, and be able to have those conversations with them, whether it makes you uncomfortable or not.
Definitely. And there will be lots of uncomfortable situations and conversations. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's emotional awareness, intelligence, maturity, right? In order
Hmm.
to take those on and to convey positive information to that person and redirect them in a way that you can't stop somebody, right? Let's be very honest. If they are gung ho about it, right? Unfortunately, we can't stop somebody
No.
who has a plan, or we can try, right?
Yeah, we
not
can
not that
try.
it's
Yeah.
impossible. It definitely
Yeah.
is possible. But for one person, like a leader, right, to take on that role is a lot. That's very
Hmm.
taxing on them
It
mentally,
is.
physically, emotionally. So,
Yes, and then I'm sure they have to carry that home too. So it
hmm,
extends out to the family, and
right,
it affects them, their own worlds too. So that's unfortunate.
definitely. So I know that there's also, some of the other signs, right? Just to kind of touch back on that,
Hmm.
um, is not, obviously the negative changes in behavior, but the positive as well, and just looking out for that, and also making sure as a friend or family member, whoever, that you're not you're helping this person in a way that's truly positive, not in a way that's masking, right? We're not here to throw band-aids on anything.
Right.
So taking them out drinking, partying, all of that, that's not helping.
I like how you said that. That's just putting a band-aid on it. And that can intensify,
Right.
the emotions just doing that.
Definitely. So, yes, wanting them to have a good time and all of that, but also understanding that it's also going to take you sitting down with them and truly listening to them, letting them cry, letting them vent, whatever the
Mhm.
case is. But in order to truly help somebody, it's not just about redirecting in a way that is involving negative coping mechanisms.
Right. It's being intentional, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
100% being intentional.
Yeah.
Um, there are some also, research based approaches to
Mhm.
try. But with that, again, you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do.
Right.
There's therapies, there's different, you know, I don't want to say the word proven. They're not proven to solve anything, but they do help. And it's just getting them out there. And I think that's what I love about what we do is that we help get that message out there
Right.
for them.
And therapy is for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. Everybody needs a therapist.
Yes.
Everybody should have a therapist.
100%.
Yes, you can reach out to me. I also need a therapist. We all need one.
We all need
Everybody
one.
needs
Yes.
somebody to talk to that is unbiased. And that's just, it is what it is.
That right there, the unbiased.
Right. So I know that was pretty deep, pretty heavy. So we can move on to something also deep and heavy, but, just
Mm-hmm.
different transitions. So 9/11 is coming up.
Yeah.
The question, right, that we all ask is, where were you?
I was in my apartment getting ready to go to work at Chili's.
Okay.
And my roommate came, into my room and he was like, "Hey, I think we're being attacked." Like, what are you talking about? Like, who's being attacked? What are you talking about? Like at
Hmm.
Chili's? And he's like, "No, like, it's on the news. Come here." So I went to the living room and we're just standing there like, oh my gosh. I remember I had to get to work. I didn't really process what was happening.
Hmm.
And then I got to work, and Chili's has TVs all over the place, and it was like a standstill moment. No one was ordering, no one was moving. Everybody was just standing there
Yeah.
watching the TV, watching it all unfold, like in disbelief. And I remember hearing or watching, and it's gonna get really dark. I'm so sorry. The people falling out of the buildings,
Hmm.
or jumping out of the buildings.
Hmm.
And that is like seared into my, and I wasn't even there.
Right.
I was here in San Antonio. So yeah, that was intense. How
Y-
about you?
I was getting ready for school. I was at my best friend's house, and we always listened to the radio while we were doing our hair and makeup and all of that. And the radio, came on, and he announced what was going on, and we were like, "What?" So, and we took the bus, so like there was no adults with us, and so we rushed to the TV, we to the living room, turned it on, and saw some of it. And same, I mean, it's a shock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of also our brain trying to process, like, what am I looking at? What's happening? What does this mean? Right? All
Right.
of these questions, and I was a teenager, so
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly confused at like what is going on.
Right.
And that's when they hit the first tower. So we had to go to the bus, rode the bus to school. By the time we got to school, every teacher, every TV was on in every classroom. And same, we just sat there and we just watched it. And teachers,
Oh, you
were
just gave me goosebumps because I
yeah,
can't imagine being in a school setting
right.
and the whole school just
And that was another thing too, because then parents are freaking out, well, okay, is it going to happen to our kids' schools?
yeah,
And as a parent now, I can't imagine I would have gone to pick them up or said,
yeah,
you're not going to school.
right.
Right.
Mm,
But
yeah,
you know, um, my mom was a single mom, so she was gone already. She had been gone for hours at work, and so that wasn't an option either. But I can imagine as a parent, right, looking back on that, what that must have felt like.
right.
Um, and then I remember just all day watching it in every classroom. We
Mm-hmm.
still transitioned to different periods, but everybody was just sitting there watching it. We didn't learn. That's all we talked about at lunch. And then going home and then being there with my mom and seeing my mom trying to process what was happening and her just crying. She's just standing there watching TV, just crying. And again, I'm a teenager, so I was like, okay, like, of course it's terrible and it's sad, but it was very confusing
Yeah,
for a minute, and then them replaying all of it over and over and over. So,
the phone calls that you
hmm,
hear over and over again.
right,
It created, this collective trauma I think we all experience. Even not, I can't even imagine, being there, right in front of your face, and we are, hundreds of miles away, and it still created this collective trauma, like
for sure.
all over the world.
Yeah,
Um, and just like, I mean, just never forget. I mean, how that, like, just for something like that to happen in our lifetimes, for
yeah.
us to be able to have lived through that and still talk about it,
Hmm.
it's very impactful.
Yeah, and So I worked in New York as a COVID crisis nurse. And so we were able to go to the memorial
Mhm.
and nobody was there because everything was shut down. And so they let us get close and not too close. But it was just us nurses.
Yeah.
And so for us to be going through something else that's also traumatic, right? And then to be there in that moment and alone, it's just us was very powerful.
Yeah.
Really sad. Very
Surreal. Yeah.
yes, very, yeah. So,
Can't even imagine.
yeah. Just I think seeing all the names and like flowers and it just,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's very hard.
Yeah. Oof,
Yeah.
that is heavy.
Yes. So
I
we're
know,
just gonna take a breath for a second. um, yeah. So, what are ways that we can continue to honor not just the victims and first responders, but anybody that was, you know, affected by it?
I think just educating, continue the awareness of it, not just like, hey, here's another, awareness thing, but really like showing people like this could happen
Mm-hmm.
at any time. Like we had no idea this was going to happen. Would never imagine that this would happen in our lifetimes. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just being educated on just that event and how it hit, US and how we all felt that moment. And after, I mean, it it created this collective, sense of unity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just being able to carry that sense on, especially now, like we need to remember that, hey, we were all there for each other no matter what, at one point. So
Yeah.
I think just honoring that and honoring those who gave up their times, their lives, everything in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just continuing to talk about it. As a teacher, I do. I mean, I bring it up every year.
Mm.
I'm pretty students now are like they're so far removed from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, no, you gotta know about it.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't erase it. It's a
No.
huge part of our history.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a tough subject. So, um, would you like to move on to the next?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
So, if you want to introduce this next subject.
So, um, it is also on the third Friday in September.
Mm-hmm.
It is prisoners of war and MIA,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, awareness. So honoring those who um, and making sure we don't forget that we've lost some people, like literally lost people. I mean, in the Korean War, I think we were at I think we're at 7,500 still missing, and that's what they found.
Mm.
I think it was like 500 people that I read, but still missing 7,500 service members. That and the Civil War, and then World War II. There's those the people haven't been, service members have not been recovered,
Yeah.
have not been found, and those families that are still here, have to deal with that every day.
Right. How do you mourn someone if you don't know if they're still alive or not? Or,
There's no closure.
right. There's none.
Yeah.
And that alone is traumatizing. So some of the data that I have is, says remembering over 81,000 plus service members are still missing.
Yeah.
81,000.
81,000. Oh
It's
my.
that many, that many family members and kids and moms and dads.
Yeah. So I think this September 3rd or the third Friday in September,
Mm-hmm.
it's the US's commitment to um, never forgetting, never abandoning the effort
Mm-hmm.
to bring closure to those families.
Yeah.
That's I mean that's impactful. That's it doesn't only affect even the survivors, like those that do come home. They have it's reported they have decades of trauma that they
Mm-hmm.
have to live through every day.
Oh, yeah.
Decades, and then just think about it like as a relationship standpoint. I always teach my students that we are social beings, and no matter the environment, we are creating relationships with that environment.
Mhm.
So, in being in a captive abuser type of that's a relationship that is established. And if you're being, in that environment repeatedly traumatized,
Mhm.
that's not something that goes away, you know, even with therapy. Therapy, I'm sure helps, but it's decades.
Right. And there are different forms of therapy,
Yeah.
which I think we touch on every time that we have an episode, right? And CBT, DBT,
Yeah.
exposure therapy,
Exposure therapy.
um, talk therapy. I mean,
We
there's,
talked about somatic therapy last time.
hmm
Yeah, just being aware of your reactions when you think about the trauma or
right.
you witness trauma
hmm
and how your body responds.
Definitely, which happens. And I think without people even recognizing that it's happening,
Yeah.
right? But also avoiding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So yeah, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't need to talk to a shrink, or I don't need what. Well, there's more than just talking, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
there's different modes or modalities that can be helpful depending on the level of your trauma or what it is that you need.
Mm-hmm. And it can be expressive.
Hmm
As simple as writing something down. I know that sounds cliche, but
Yeah,
it helps some
journaling.
people.
hmm
Journaling. And we talked about art therapy last time, like some type of outlet. I think you mentioned that last time. Having some type of outlet to release that negative energy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heaviness.
Hmm.
Yeah, and again, not forgetting, not pushing it down, not compartmentalizing. Right,
No.
you're still dealing with it, just in a way that's physical.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, art's definitely helpful. We saw that at Lower Ridge in that room, in
Yeah.
the war room.
The war room.
That was very heavy.
Hmm. And yeah, I just can't get over how she explained it, how it's like they're letting go of that part of their lives. Not that they're never going to forget it.
Sure.
It's just releasing the emotional weight
Mhm.
that prevented them from moving forward.
Right.
And so that's their goodbye.
Right. And that's definitely a big form of release.
Hmm.
And release takes time
Yeah.
and takes multiple steps. It's not, one time and that's it. All right, I'm
No.
healed. I'm good.
Multiple modalities, man.
Exactly.
Maybe art's not for you. Maybe it's pickleball, like we talked about too last
Mhm.
time. So, definitely different um, avenues there to explore.
Yeah. And what are some of the resources for family members that are going through, you know?
Family members too, yes. I mean, they are impacted too,
Mhm.
right? Obviously. I mean, there is the latest study I read was in 2023, and it talked a lot about resources and different therapies for those that experience those survivors. Um, and they do mention the psychological impact on families, on the children, and spouses,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, there's not a lot of research on that. More research is actually needed on the types of effective treatment for the families of, POWs and MIAs.
Mhm.
So we need to get out there. I'll get out there, start researching.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm on it.
We should do that. We'll get on that. I promise, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think one of the most effective ways is just letting them tell their stories. Like,
definitely.
maybe that's their release, like being able to talk about them
Mhm.
again in a positive way
Yeah,
and remember, what they were
right.
before this happened, and then using that as a way to, introduce different types of treatment.
Right. And I know some people, especially with like older family members, they'll let's say the grandkids, they're like, "Oh, grandma always talks about grandpa." I'm like, well, that's helpful for her.
That's her coping.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just listen.
Hmm.
And sometimes that's all we can do is just listen.
Yeah.
And that's also something that I apply to or do my best to everyday life, right? Is active listening versus passive listening,
Right.
right? So if I have friends that come to me with an issue, and I can say, "Hey, okay, do you want me to just listen, or do you want me to listen to give you advice?"
Mhm.
Um, and you'd be surprised how many times people stop and they think and they're like, "Wait, nobody's ever asked me that before."
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, just wait, just listen. Okay, cool. Then I'll just listen.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say, and I will just be here to listen. You need
Mhm.
a hug, you need a tissue, I'm here, but I won't say anything.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's as easy as that.
Just asking that.
Right.
And that works in different settings too. I have a friend
Mhm.
who will ask, her counterparts will come to her like, okay, are you coming to me? Am I, your boss or am I your friend right now? You
Mm.
need to let me know.
Yeah.
And they're taken aback, like, oh, okay, I need you as a friend right now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I am working. I need to say that more. I
Mhm.
need to like I know what I want to do. I know I do it in my mind, but
Right.
letting the other person know on the other side of me,
Mhm.
hey, I'm giving you tell me what to do. You're
Right.
in control of this conversation.
Right. Right. So what do you need from this conversation?
Yeah,
What would you
exactly.
like to get out of this conversation? And, how can I help? What can I do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's as easy as that, right?
Yeah.
It's putting it into practice.
Yes, it is.
So,
It's putting it into practice for
mhm.
sure.
But yeah. Um, okay, so I know that there are some local events going on or local monuments, memorials. I wrote about them in the article that you can read, that
The
you can pick
September
up.
18th. Yes.
Let's see. Let me try to grab those really quick. Just so you guys out there are aware, there are places to go. Let's see. We can cut out this. Let's see. Mhm. Like you can talk. Let me see. I sent it
While
to you,
she's
Johnny.
looking.
Yes, please. Commercial break.
What you can do to help right now,
Mhm.
given all this information that we just shared and what that
Mhm.
we just talked about, and it is heavy on everybody's mind. I mean, it is the month of September is a very heavy month full of remembrances, awarenesses, um, just like everything we just talked about. So, what you can do, share our podcast, share it with a veteran.
Definitely.
Um, Offer resources, be a caregiver, refer a veteran, refer someone who needs help to a clinician. There's one right here with us.
Yes, it's me. Hi. Please reach out to
um,
me.
just reach out and, like we said, just be intentional about it. You
Mhm.
never know who just needs to hear it at that time.
Definitely. Okay, so I found it, guys.
Yay!
I'm back. We're back. Okay. So a couple of ways to honor 9/11 in San Antonio. JBSA Lackland has a 9/11 memorial. So it's a monument with a wall of freedom, sloping walls, and steel pillar. Survivor tree at A&M San Antonio. So sapling from let's see, WTC's original tree and annual ceremonies. There's Lieutenant Colonel Karen J. Wagner High School. So it honors, of course, a San Antonio native that was killed at the Pentagon. Heroes Climb, so stair climb tribute to fallen first responders. 9/11 Heroes Run, there's an annual national event celebrating
Nice.
service and sacrifice. Mission Continues projects, so veteran led community revitalization initiatives, and Vet Strong, which is a peer led veteran support and mental health resource. So
Nice.
there's definitely ways that you can be involved in the community, ways that you can um, help remember, right?
Yeah.
And maybe take kids with you who, like you said, so
They're
far
so
the
far removed.
distance,
Yeah.
right? That they don't understand, and not that we're here to make them sad or to traumatize them, right? But
Yeah.
it's awareness, and that's what matters.
It is. And then just encourage, that reaching out,
Hmm.
and not just in a crisis. It doesn't have to be just in a crisis, guys. Like the in between moments matter,
Correct.
just how was your day?
Yeah.
But mean, how was
Yes.
your day? Not, hey, how you
Please.
doing? How was your day? Then walk
Please.
away. Like, no.
I know there's so many people that are like, oh well, nobody cares. No, they do care.
Yeah.
I care.
Yeah.
So, if I'm at HEB and someone says, "How's your day?" I'll be like, "You know what happened? This is crazy. Like, are you ready for this?"
Don't be the guy that's
Yeah.
like, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? No, I don't care. No. Yeah. No, yes, I love that you said that. Definitely. If you ask that question, mean it,
Mhm.
right? And give that person your undivided attention for
Yeah.
2 seconds, 2 minutes, because that can make all the difference sometimes.
That's all they need sometimes.
Mhm. So, yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Mm, if somebody who is struggling, there's a veterans crisis line available
Mhm.
24/7 as well. I know we've shared a lot of resources already.
Right.
Um,
Never too many.
Never too many, but just dial 988, press 1, you're there. Or you can text 838255 and someone will be there.
Yeah. Or you can reach out to me. I'm at Liberty Alliance Group, and it is located by the airport. And I'm the nurse practitioner there, but there are other counselors and life coaches that are there as well.
Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching, listening. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, you're reading the magazine, you're picking it up at all locations.
Yes.
And
You can listen to us
yes,
on YouTube, or you can catch us on Spectrum channel 1306.
yes.
Yes.
All right. So, again, hope you guys have a great month and remember to look out for one another
Yes,
and
always.
show some love and appreciate one another. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.